Well, it's so busy on the road. It is Friday, so I should have known. But I'm gonna run some errands right now. I have a lot to do. Always busy like usual. So I wanted to talk about where I've been, why I haven't been uploading as much, uh, what's coming down the pipeline, all the changes I want to make. Um, so right now we are in the retrograde season. We have a bunch of eclipses. There's just so much going on. It's actually insane. I mean, the retrogrades, the eclipses, it's wild. And amongst organizing and working and moving, I've really just been taking a lot of time for myself. Um, on a realer note, I really don't think that I mean, I knew that, once you graduate, life is, kind of like the world is your oyster. But I think that with the pandemic and everything else going on in the world, the shortages, the crazy prices, the crazy weather, it's like a lot of unstable energy in the world, And I really feel like during this time more than ever, you really have to ground yourself. You really have to know a lot about yourself, a lot about what you want and where you're going, and how you're gonna plan. If you're lucky enough to stay alive, how you see your life the next 2 to 5 years. And it's a really weird time because nobody really knows, when this pandemic is going to be over. Nobody really knows when things are going to get back to normal. I mean, there's a lot of nobody knows, and we can, pull all the cards we want and, go to all these people and watch all these videos and listen to all these, pastors and I mean, you can get your information from basically anywhere. But I think for me, being a fixed sign, I think for myself on a personal level, I don't action being crazy action issues, you all. There's a bunch of traffic for whatever the video picks up is what the video picks up. It's raining. There's a lot of traffic. So all these factors are not the best right now for vlogging or talking about updates, but I don't care. I'm just going to keep talking because I don't have time outside of this to do this video anyway. So it's either now or I don't do it at all. It's just been constant change. And one thing I realized about myself is that, if I plan something or I have an idea about something and then something else comes in the picture that I'm not able to literally control. I mean, nobody's able to control this pandemic. Nobody's able to stop all this madness. And that's the sad part is that, I wish that things would just go back to normal. I desperately wish that this would be a time where I can kind of just go back to when I was just finishing up college or whatever, and and be able to look at life a lot differently. But I think that because of the pandemic, it's really taken a lot of, I think, steam out of my sail. I mean, personally for me, it's really made me confused with the world, because how can you work so hard? I mean, for example, I literally see tweets from people who, are still in college, or because of the pandemic, they've had to, they're in college longer. I have a couple friends actually who, we were able to check in with each other, and some are still in college, some are not, some have moved, it's basically chaos. And I was shocked at how many people are still working on their bachelor's because of the pandemic. There was certain courses or certain experiences, or even maybe graduation, walking the stage, that because of COVID, I don't know if you can say COVID on YouTube, okay, but because of the pandemic, they were not able to do X, Y, and Z. They were not able to fulfill internships or whatever. Like, and I can relate. Like, you know, I had to change my plans just to walk the stage. You know, if I was to graduate at a different time, I would have not been able to walk the stage. And so I had to make a really tough decision and say, okay, I did not work this hard, right, to not have grad bash, to not be able to walk the stage, to not be able to throw a graduation party or dinner. Like, I did not work this hard to not have the same experiences like every other student before the pandemic. So there's just so much that there's just so much I could complain about, that I could talk about, but I don't want to make this video over an hour, because my other video, I think was pretty, I mean, I think really summed up majority of what I'm going through. But I just think that I wanted to tell you all that, like, one of the main reasons why I've like not been on here is because I'm genuinely just not just only confused and like exhausted, but I just don't understand like how this could still be happening. Like, it's the third year and we're still like, there's still limitations, there's still drama, there's still all these like moving factors, you know, remote work, not working remote. It's a nightmare. It is such a nightmare. And like, I knew, and it's raining now, I knew that transitioning out of college was going to be, you know, a big game changer. Like, God, that rain is gross. My allergies have been crazy as well. Like the flowers, ugh, and then like the rain, it's like it's disgusting. Sorry all. So I'm good now. It's just like the rain, I can smell like the outside, it's just gross for me. But it's just been a really like strange time in my life. I mean, for the most part, everything is good. Like, I'm good within myself, I'm confident within myself, like I'm okay like deep down. But I just think that like all the changes, all the unknown, you know, the unknown of, okay, if I make this career decision, it's gonna lead me here. If I make this career decision, it could lead me here. And it's just like, you just don't know, you know, there's a lot of like unknowns. And, you know, I am the kind of person where I like to know as much as possible. I like to plan as much as possible. I like to have an idea of, okay, what's gonna be happening, you know, with the economy. You know what I'm saying? Like those things are very easy to track before the pandemic. Now, one week, as you all know, is the stock market crash. The next week, there's some, you know, meme stock that's blown up into oblivion. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, making all this money. The very next week, it's over. You know, it's to me, it's chaotic. And, you know, just being honest, I don't think I do very well with this kind of chaos. I mean, I've been through some stuff, you know, I'm a pretty strong person, but it's like, am I strong enough to make all these major life decisions when nothing makes any sense and nothing seems fair and everything is chaos? Like, how do I make these really important choices about certain areas of my life when I don't even know when the wind's coming or going? You know what I'm saying? It's to me, it's something that I never thought that I would have to deal with. You know, I knew that you know, things are not always handed easy to me. I mean, I definitely know that, but you know, I hope you guys can hear me because the weather is really bad. But this is a different level of craziness. I mean, this is something that I just never thought would be this bad. I mean, all the kind of conversations I've had, all the plans I had, like, and then when this happened, I was like, bro, like, nothing makes any sense. Literally nothing makes any sense. And in order to maintain the same kind of enthusiasm and health and optimism when you literally don't feel like anything is fair and anything makes any sense, is something that I just don't know how to really deal with, like, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody who's been in college, and gets a 9-to-5 job, or, goes the entrepreneurial route, before the pandemic, they have an idea of like the job market, they have an idea of the profit, they have an idea. And because of the state of the world, it's like there's no concrete idea, there's no concrete information. And that's what's so troubling, is like you could think all these things, but then it's like every path you take is what? Just go. It's like every path you take seems like a trap. Like, like it feels like it's a trap. And it's just weird. Like, it's just been a really weird time. So instead of diving into a bunch of investments and businesses and videos, I've just been really kind of like, tiptoeing, like, okay, in 2 years or so, is this what's going to be worth it for me? Like, is this what's going to help me? I've really had to think so differently, because overnight I saw the change, right? Overnight, I saw everything change. People are still getting sick. I have people close to me, like very close to my family, that have caught it, like of recent. And I know people who've caught it. So it's like, in the media, they paint this picture like everything is back to. Ooh. It's raining. It's always raining. Yeah, so it's like they paint this picture of like everything's back to normal, drop the mask mandate, don't worry about events, don't worry about going out, like, but then at least where I live, every time they do that, there's a huge spike, there's chaos. And so it just feels like everything is a little out of control, I'm probably gonna park because it's raining. And which store am I gonna go to? I actually have to go to a store right now, but I'll park for a little bit. You guys can hear the rain in my car. It's raining so hard. So anyway, can I really talk with the rain? I have no idea. Let me see if I can. Ooh, this location with the rain is not good. I can't even hear myself because the rain is so hard. Like, even if you want to travel, there are certain requirements that if you don't have X, Y, and Z, you can't even travel. You know what I'm saying? And like, no offense, but I see like not this community, but like I just in general on social media, I see some people who were talking so against it, and then they're going to New York, they're going here, they're going there. And I looked up the requirements. Like, I literally, like, because I'm traveling, so I looked up, like, what is required? What are they requiring in order for you to travel? And almost every airline, everything I've looked up says you have to have at least two vaccine shots. So I'm like, how are these people traveling, but they don't have the vaccine? So people are just lying. People are lying for clout. And a lot of things bug me about just the misinformation and people posing like they're so against it, but yet I know for a fact that you have to have certain shots, you have to take certain things in order to even be able to travel. So somebody's lying. You see what I'm saying? Somebody lying, because like, whether it's a cruise ship, a plane, a jet, a private plane, like, there is certain mandates and requirements say that you have to have it. Like, if you want to travel, you have to have it. So then I'm like, okay, when I listen to certain people, and they act like they're against it. How are they able to travel? They don't have a private jet. They're going on a regular commercial plane. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's first class or not, don't really matter. They're traveling, and in order to travel, you have to have it. So even that, I'm like, everything has changed. Before, right? Before, you could just simply buy a plane ticket, jump on any airline you want, go wherever the heck you want, no questions. Now you got to get a test, you got to get the shot, you got to have documentation. Like, bro, this is crazy. Even I think that's crazy. Like, you cannot tell somebody to get, a certain kind of shot or whatever just to be able to travel. Like, what if I didn't want it? What if I didn't want to get any shots? So then I would not be able to travel. I would not be able, to me, this is crazy. So, with kind of like slowing down my life. I mean, not slowing down my life, more like slowing down myself, like taking care more of my health. I really think that I'm in a state of shock. I think that from when I was in college, I had a certain routine, I could upload certain times, to now being free range, everything is down to me, everything is on my shoulders. I'm the one who has to make it work. If it doesn't work, then that's crazy. That's hard. That's really hard. And truth be told, I look back on my college days when I was on here all the time uploading videos like a crazy person, and I'm like, how did I do that? I'm literally like, who did that? Who was that person? Because I know that person wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's age, maybe it's energy level, maybe it's the fact that I just have more responsibility. So I kind of have to pick and choose, where I put my energy. But I look back on those times where I was able to upload every day, every week, and I'm like, wow, that is gnarly. But keep in mind, that was pre-pandemic. That was when I wasn't I was busy, but I didn't have as much bills. I didn't have as much responsibilities. I was a student, and not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people knew that I was actually in college. I mean, there were certain videos I would make every now and then, and people would talk to me in the chat, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're in college?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What do you think? So people just don't know how busy you are or what you have going on unless you say it. And I'm the kind of person now where I'm very selective. If I tell you guys something, it's because I want you to know. But if I don't, it's because it's just, I'm too busy. I just don't feel led to share anything. I don't feel led to talk about it, And so simultaneously, while all this is happening, I'm thinking about what I want for my future, and I'm like, okay, am I gonna move? Now, it's been a couple times now where I've had to ask myself, am I just gonna get up and move? Am I just gonna make this huge change? And I don't even know what's around the corner for the world. I mean, I know things, but we don't know when. We don't know when this is gonna happen. I mean, a lot of us have an idea, but when it comes down to it actually happening in real time, it's gonna knock all of us off course. And it has for a while, you know what I'm saying? So before, it was just totally different, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in a totally different season. And the energy and the time and just a lot of things I had before, I just don't have. And if I do have the energy, then I'm having to work. I'm having to pay bills, I mean, I paid bills in college, but not quite like this, Those of you who went to college yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Once you get out of that whole system and you're on your own, it's a whole different can of worms, And I do have plans for this channel, just to be upfront. I do have plans, things I would love to do with the channel, but I have to get to a certain point. I have to build up to that point, and I feel this is how I feel. I feel when I was just starting out YouTube and I was in college, I had my twin flame journey going on. I had all this, really intense energy. I mean, that was a very intense couple of years for me. I feel I I was on autopilot, you know, I had all this energy, and I saw the world so differently. And then it feels like as soon as like people died around me and all this stuff happened, it's like my perspective is just totally different. And it's really hard to think like that the way I was before, you know, like that person that I was a couple years ago is not the person I am today, like at all, you know. And sometimes I'm like searching for that old person in me, but I'm like, I realize that I know so much more now about people, about the world, about how to relate to other people. Like I know so much more, and I'm like, that's not who I am anymore, you know. I am just following my heart, and I'm doing what's best for me. And I feel like, sadly, in doing what's best for me, it's like sometimes it can affect people that watch me, or you know, that are used to me uploading, and you know, my viewership and all, I mean, everything has changed, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm actually okay with that, because there's nothing I can do. You know, I can't make somebody watch me. I can't make somebody support me. I can't you know, agree with me. I can't do any of those things. I'm kind of helpless in that way. Like I can't force something that's not meant to be. I can't force it. So I just have to really be in this period where I'm just doing things for myself now, you know, because I have to. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. Like the way I think now is like anything can happen. I have to be able to sink. I mean, and not sink. I mean, I have to be able to be afloat and not sink. And that's scary. You know, that's really scary. God, there's so much I can say in this video, but like seriously speaking, you know, coming out of college, and then you know, you're on your own, and you know, you have all this responsibility, you know, you have time going against you, have all these things coming against you, and you're like, whoa, like, you know, this is not what I had in mind. You know, I would have loved to graduate in a healthy economy. I would have loved to graduate without the pandemic, but it just feels like I've just been dropped in the bottom of the ocean. And it's like, if I don't swim for my life, you know, I'm gonna sink. And that's how it feels every day. It's like, I don't know what's happening. You know, I mean, like I predicted some stuff, you know, I've told you all about, you know, a lot of stuff beforehand, but when you're experiencing it, it's scary. It's weird. It's weird to see your own predictions happen right in front of your face. And you're like, whoa, like I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't know it was gonna be this bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the price is everything. The price is everything is a whole topic within itself. You know what I'm saying? God, my throat is tired already. I'm only talking for 22 minutes, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm just out of it. Oh, that lady was pushing her child in the buggy, and she had gloves and a mask on. I don't even have my gloves. See, when the pandemic started, I had my gloves, the disposable clear. I used to wear those at the gas station all the time, because, you know, there was this thing going around with that the gas stations were really dirty, like the pumps, and I believe that, you know. But of late, I haven't worked like disposable gloves in public in a while. I mean, at home I clean with them, but not like going in public and wiping down. Like I don't do that unless think I'm back, you all. The traffic is crazy. The traffic is, I'll just wait a couple to see if it's stable. Sorry, wall. Sorry, wall. The traffic is really bad. Like, gotta wait till it's stable. Gotta wait till it's stable. Right now it's just kind of chaotic. It is Friday, so it's really busy on the road. So freaking busy. So when I park, it should be a lot better. If you guys saw this traffic, you would like freak out. The traffic is so bad. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. Ooh, there's a new Starbucks. Yeah, I've been craving Starbucks for a while now. well, it's stable, but then it tells me reconnect. So I get kind of scared. Like I'm going to talk and then I feel like it's going to say reconnect. So I have to just wait until I feel like the signal's more stable. Then I'll just continue talking. But, wow, this is just so crazy, you all. This is just crazy. So I'll attempt to talk again. Hopefully my connection goes back. So what I was going to say was I saw this tweet of this person talking about like, oh, you know, I don't know what's going on in my life right now. Like life is so crazy. Had like a bunch of like likes on it. And this person quote tweeted that tweet and said, yeah, I literally thought of like quitting my job, putting my 2-week notice in and getting a 1-week ticket and going to a different state to live. And like so many people could relate to that person's tweet. And even I could, because I'm like, you know what? Like, for a little bit now, I've been thinking like maybe I need to be in a different state. You know, I've really been considering a lot of options, you know, and I've been thinking about like maybe I want to like experience a different state. Like maybe I want a different change of scenery, you know, like I really have been thinking that way. Like I've been thinking that way for a while now. Like maybe I want to live somewhere else for a couple months and work and then, you know, travel. Like I've really been considering a lot of options, you know, and doing all this with all these weird pandemic requirements and tests and mandates is weird. It's scary. It's scary. Like, it's like, why is this happening? You know, if I want to travel, I got to get what shot now? Like, to me, it's just something that, like, in the pit of my stomach, it's just scary. Like, it makes me feel scared for the kids' future, the future of everybody, because it's one thing to work towards a future that you know is stable, but then it's another thing to work towards a future that you feel is not even possible, you know, because you don't know what in the world is gonna flare up or be destroyed, or like you don't know. So you're kind of just working towards a dream. You're not even working towards reality. Whereas before, the things I was working towards, I could see in real time. I could put the time in and I'd be like, yeah, you know, I could go here, I could do that. And now it's like, wait, like, I don't really feel that way. You know, I don't really know if that's the best thing right now. You know, I'm like, I have a lot of questions. And I'm constantly trying to figure out like, okay, is this the right time? Is it not? And, you know, I know myself very well. I'm the kind of person where if I have to question something over and over and over again, and it doesn't feel very stable, I just won't do it. You know, anything I do, it has to feel right. It has to feel like, okay, I see a window of opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. And a lot of times these days, I don't get that feeling. You know, I almost feel like, and not even just a feeling, but on the real, a lot of times I feel like God or something is protecting me, because I will think of doing something and then I can feel a strong energy saying to me, you know, I could feel like something like deep down saying to me, no, like this is not the right time. Maybe this person's gonna park in the spot that I wanted. Yeah, forget it. I was gonna park there, but I think either this person's coming out, or I don't know where they're going. I could finally park. God, that traffic was insane. So even with that situation, before, I felt like, okay, you know, if I want to do a course or go to a certain college or do something, it felt reasonable. You know what I'm saying? It felt like, okay, I see a path forward. I know how much energy I got to put in, but it looks reasonable. It looks like I could do it. And nowadays, it's like things just don't seem reasonable. It feels like every career step, or every career step, or every certain kind of career opportunity, it feels like is packed with a whole bunch of what ifs. What if I take that? What if I go here? What if, and I don't like that feeling. I don't like to feel like that, you know, especially when it comes to something that's tied to me. I like to feel like, okay, I can weigh out the pros and cons. I can weigh out the possibility of the success rate in this avenue or this path I'm choosing and see where it goes. And now it's like, okay, everything looks dicey. Everything looks like it's going to be more work than it was before. Who has time for that? You know what I'm saying? So it's been chaotic to the point where I'm like, okay, should I change my YouTube channel name? Okay, am I changing the content? Okay, am I gonna move? Like, these are all things that I'm like thinking about. And a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I can't think like that. You know, yes, these are things that are on my radar, that are on my mind. You know, obviously businesses, I mean, the business thing I got down pat. It's just about the timing and the investment I'm putting in, you know. Business has always been a quite easy thing for me. It's just the timing and, you know, how much of it am I doing? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, all that type of stuff. But it's just been, you know, for me, it's just been a season of really having to just take care of my health. You know, if everything else seems a little bit too risky, a little bit too out of my range, you know, I've always resulted back to my health, my family, you know, things I can control, you know, things I can invest my time in that I know are going to be beneficial, not things that I feel are going to make my head spin and give me a headache and make me have anxiety. Like, I'm trying to like really let go of that, you know. And you know, I don't know, you know, I don't know how certain subscribers of mine feel, you know, that I've not really been here as much, you know, I don't really know, but all I can say is that it's like, if you know, I've realized if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of other people, and you definitely cannot help other people. You know, if you are yourself going through a huge change, I mean, moving is a huge change, graduating is a huge change. These are all things that are major, like life stones, life blocks, you know, life, like when you hit that goal in life, like, whoa, like, you know, and it opens up a whole different like door, a whole different life. And I've gone through multiple within less than 6 months. You know, I've gone through these major, you know, life altering, like life shattering changes within such a short period of time. And then it's like to continue life as usual is so strange to me. It's been such a hard time for me. So, you know, I just realized that, you know what, it's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that, you know, uploading or life, you know, life is just never going to be the same. You know, I realize that now, like life is just never going to be the same. And I can't go back in time, and I can't act like everything is fine, because it's not the way it should be. You know, everybody has an idea of like what's, you know, what life is going to be like when you graduate. And I think for me, I graduated not being very conventional, having all this experience, you know, having my own, you know, having all this that I did for myself, like, you know, very self-made, like doing all my stuff for myself. And then having to, you know, go back in the workforce. I mean, it's been very, very challenging and weird. Like, to be honest with you, the key word is weird. Like, you know, everything just moves so fast. You're like, okay, when do I get to just take a break? So, I think you know, I'm making plans to travel, like I said, and all types of stuff like that, because, you know, I really just need a break. You know, I really need a break to just like breathe for like 5 seconds. I really need that. And you know, I've kind of just kind of moved on from the whole, like, you know, like YouTube hype a little bit. You know, I think before I was super excited, like I still am excited about YouTube, but it's just different now. You know, the engagement is different. The work you got to put in to keep the engagement is hard. You know, if you work a regular job or multiple jobs and then you do YouTube on top of that, I don't know how people do that. But a lot of people who are like way bigger on YouTube, this is their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch YouTubers too, so-called YouTubers as well, you know, and a lot of YouTubers, this is their full-time job. This is not my full-time job. You know, there's no way I could have an expensive mortgage and rent, and currently the way YouTube is going, pay all my bills. That's not even, I mean, with my business, yes, but like, that's not reasonable. It's not reasonable for me to not work a regular job and then I'm on here 24/7 for the heck of it. Like, that's not smart. That's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect people that don't have a YouTube channel of their own to understand how hard this is. And so I've just really given myself a lot of slack, like when I come on here, I come on here. When I don't, I don't. Like, it's, for me, it's like that simple. If I don't even make much money on YouTube like I used to, that's fine. Privately I do, but like just from like the videos alone, nah, like it ain't cutting it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have to have like 300,000 views per video, in my opinion, to make YouTube a full-time sort of thing, because like, okay, let's say for example, and like, hello, just saying 300,000 views sounds cuckoo. Like, that's every video. Like, nobody has that. Like, hardly anybody has that. But to me, for my lifestyle, for the bills I got, that's what it'd have to be. It'd have to be a crap ton of views. And I don't see I don't, it could happen. I'm not going to poo-poo it in the universe, but like, that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have their own lives. They can't be on YouTube all day. So me personally, I don't even think like that. I'm like, bro, like, whatever I do that I can do, I'm gonna do. If I can't do videos like I used to do videos, if I can't get my channel the way I want it to be right now, because I gotta focus on life after college and moving and all these bills and all these responsibilities, then that's what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And some people may respect it and others may not. You know what I'm saying? And this is a point that I've got to in my life, is like, life is hard. Like, life is not easy. Even people that are rich, people that are stinking rich, they got it hard sometimes because they never get a break. They're always traveling. They're always working. I mean, it's not easy for anybody, to be honest with you. Like, even people who are considered more well off, like, millionaire status, they got their own problems too. Everybody got their own problem. Maybe not problems like we got, but like, everybody got their own kind of thing going on. So I just had to respect myself. You know what I'm saying? I've just had to respect that, times have changed. I've changed. My thinking has changed on a lot of stuff. Things have changed, and I can't act like it hasn't. I just have to kind of be, I have to just be like respectful of myself, you know what I'm saying? And not be so hard on myself, and not talk down on myself, because I've come a long way. When I first did YouTube, I was like, what, 21, bringing in thousands of views easily. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was on fire. And to now, you know what I'm saying? Like, totally having different responsibilities, different bills. Cannot call it to decline, I have to call back. Cannot do the same amount of stuff I did before, even in the same capacity. Cannot, until I get more time for myself. But there's so much I could say. Well, it sounds like chaos, because it is chaos, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a season in my life where I have to just focus on real life, like real life. And now social media and YouTube is a every so often kind of thing. I think that if people don't have the notifications on with my channel, they're not going to see my videos. I already know that. If y'all don't have the bell highlighted, you're not going to see my videos, because I'm in and out. I'm not one of these YouTubers now where I'm uploading every day 10 videos a piece. I mean, I think before I used to upload at least 5 videos a day, every other day. Who has time for that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I look back on how I started and what I was going through and all this spiritual journey, all this stuff. And I look back and I'm genuinely like, I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did that. So I don't. I mean, I know I had a lot of coffee. My sleep schedule, I don't know what my sleep schedule was like. I have no idea. But I was probably sleeping a lot less hours, most likely. Because in order to do all the things I did and then get sleep, I don't see it happening. Like, now I sleep. Before, I wasn't really sleeping. So, and now with the pandemic, it's like I'm thinking about going back to a gym. Before I was in a gym, and then when the things were, when the spike happened again, the gym closed down. So I've just been like going to the park, going in nature. Every now and then I post a nature vlog on here. Working out at the park. But now I'm like, okay, I want to go back to my routine. I was going to the gym 7 days a week. And I loved it. Would go in the sauna, would swim, would do kickboxing. Like, I want my life back. I want my life back. But because of the way things are, it's just not the same. The gym hours have changed. The pricing everything has changed. And I know a lot of you can relate, but it's just like, I'm just kind of like venting because I want you all to see like what I've been going through, like it's just not the same. And maybe you already know that, but I don't know people do, because from what it looks like on social media, some people act like this don't exist and like nothing's changed for them. Well, for me, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. So, I just got to say that out loud, what I'm saying, and kind of like tell you all like, hey, like, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And it's wild. It's just a very wild time. And who knows, maybe next time, next year I may be in a different state. I mean, I may, like, who the heck knows? I may be in a totally different situation next year. And then what? What I'm saying? Like this morning I had all my stuff in a box, and I had the box downstairs. I had to move my stuff up and down the stairs because I'm still unpacking. I'm still building a lot of stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff for my room yesterday, like decor. So now when I go in the store, I'm gonna be having to get some bathroom. I have to get a shower rod. I have a lot of things I gotta buy. So I feel like I could talk in here for hours, and it still would not be enough, y'all, to explain everything I've been going through. It would not be enough time. So on that note, I'm gonna get off of here. That's just a little bit more of me talking about what's been happening of late, kind of tying into my other video I made where I was talking more about like the personal, the social aspect, but now I'm talking more about the everyday aspect and how things have changed. So, like I want to go back to physical gym. Even though people don't wear their mask, it's dangerous. I knew people who are personal trainers and all that type of stuff that work at the gym, and they got sick because people come in that don't care. They're around all these other people, they're spreading germs. So it's just very scary. It's a very chaotic time. And I wish it wasn't, but I don't know about you all, but for me, it just feels like it's just craziness. I'm stable, I'm at peace, I'm very calm, like not right now on camera, but like in like real life, like I'm very, like, I don't care. I'm very like calm, like nonchalant, get things done, but like I'm just still within myself. I'm at peace. But explaining it to you all sounds kind of like, uppity, and like not uppity, it sounds kind of like not the word I was looking for was something to do with like sporadic. Yeah, sporadic, but like no, in real life, off camera, like I'm very, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But then when I'm explaining to you all the situation, it sounds like, oh my God, it sounds like a horror film, because it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, I literally feel like I could talk for hours and explain to you all like how things have just changed and how crazy everything's been, but I don't feel I would have enough time. I really don't. I'm ready to go on 43 minutes, and I feel like I've said nothing. Like I feel like I haven't even got to that, like the half of it of like all the changes. I have to get some more masks. I got this mask for free, but I need a better mask than this mask. This mask ain't doing it. But yeah, y'all, it's just a situation where you gotta block out energetic vampires, you gotta block out the naysayers, you gotta block out the haters, you gotta block out, yesterday. You kind of have to like forget about yesterday and just focus on. And it's kind of like a situation now where it's like every day I just take it day by day, which is totally different. Before it was just smooth sailing. And I just think that now with just everything, how everything has changed and just came out of left field and all this craziness, it just doesn't feel the same, at least for me. Like, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel like things are the way they should be. And I'm having to kind of work super hard to get back in that kind of energy of pre-pandemic. And I realize that I just don't have that, and I may never have that. I don't know. It's like I can't go back to who I used to be. I'm a different age. I have more knowledge. I'm more aware of how people are evil in this world. I'm more aware of a lot, and, like, awareness and, like, understanding. And I'm not just on autopilot. Now I'm so cautious because it feels like at any moment now there's a trap, there's a catastrophe. Like, it feels like that for me. And it's like if I make this move, this may be the wrong move, and I got to go back to the drawing board. And it's very stressful, like, it actually is very stressful. But I've just been, to avoid all of that energy draining out of me, I've just been doing what I can. Like, that's what I want to say. I've just been doing what I can and accepting things for what they are, not forcing any issue. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be, making sure my bills are paid, making sure that I'm eating healthy, that I'm getting my rest. It's just totally different. I don't think before I really cared much about, caffeine consumption and junk food. Like, before, I don't really think I cared, like, to be honest with you. And now that there's, like, all this information coming out about all the chemicals in food, and, the food factories, right, burning down, and all this craziness, I'm like, bro, I gotta, like, make I had to make some conscious health choice changes because of those things. So now when I shop, when I eat, where I go, it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Before, I would just maybe get certain things, and I'm like, I'll get the salad, or I'll go home and try to make a smoothie. Like, I'm doing things that before I would do, but for a short period of time. Now I'm trying to make it into a lifestyle. I'm not coming out, so I don't know why this person's, they're blocking each other. They're all blocking each other. There's like 3 cars that are lined up that are blocking each other. I don't know if they can park or not. But anyway, you all, I wish I could talk more, but on the real though, on the real, it almost feels like to me that I could be in a different state, and I'm not just joking. Like, I could move to a different state. I feel like there's something major coming for me, and that's going to require me to go with the flow, and to not control the flow, but to create the flow, to go with the flow, and take my time. So, in my heart, I'm here for all of you. I care about all of you. I really hope that you all are protecting yourselves and being healthy. At the bottom of my core, for people that are subscribed to my channel, I just hope that you all are okay. Like, first and foremost, like, forget all the airy-fairy stuff. Like, are you okay? Are you, staying afloat? And I know a lot of people are not. And so that's what we have to focus on, is just like the practical, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm happy for people who have been able to keep their same routine, and maybe they don't have a lot of changes going on, but I do, you know what I'm saying? I've been having upgrades, and, I changed my car. Like, there's always something happening for me, at least. So I really haven't had the chance to just have the same, upload routine, the same this, the same that. For me, that's not even existent. Like, that doesn't even exist. So things have changed. And, I'm still, as a fixed sign, I'm still having to accept that, okay, things may never be the same again, like, just in the world, I've just been, my heart, especially for the content with this channel, my heart has been led more towards, other types of videos that I'm not going to talk about right now, but like, I do have a plan, but, having the time to execute that plan is a whole different story, y'all. So I will see you all in the next video. This place is packed. Maybe I won't be in here for much long, for not really long, because I'm just gonna get my car. One sec, y'all. I don't know if I'm really gonna be in here for long, because if there's so many people shopping, They may not have everything I want. It may be sold out. And then if it's sold out, I just got to go to another store. And this is what's been happening. Like, even when I shop, I have to like go to so many, like literally yesterday, I had to go to like 2 or 3 of the same store because they didn't have what I wanted, what I needed. And this has just been the constant theme. It's like, if it's not in the store, then you have to go online. And if it's online, you got to wait for them to ship it out because there's shortages everywhere. So even now, it's like having to buy 2 of the same thing because you don't even know if next month or next week they're even going to have it in stock. And it's just weird. So let me get a cart. Is this cart going to work? Ooh, there's no brace in this cart. So I just cannot wait to get to that point in life where I feel like I'm where I need to be. I just cannot wait. I literally cannot wait for everything to feel like it's back to being in place and the way it should be. Right now, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like there's still so many changes that need to take place. So